Have you struggled with how to make a roti with millet flour and finally given up? To be honest, I too struggled with making millet flour roti. After a lot of trial and error, finally I hit the jackpot, and this trick will be yours too only if you watch the video until the end. If that sounds exciting, let's begin. We are almost at the fag end of the International Year of Millets, but believe me, it has indeed inspired me to include more and more millets in my regular diet. The question is, are you going to take this inspiration forward? Just remember, we at Munch and Mull and the sponsors of this video, S V Millets, are available to help you in this journey. A journey that is important for you, me, our farmers, and for our planet Earth. The only place in this cosmos that we call our home. How do millets help our environment? Do you wonder? So, watch this video right up to the Mull point to get the answers. If you have followed the previous two videos in this series, we have explored the use of millet whole grains and millet flakes. In this video, we are going to be exploring the use of millet flour. There are many ways to use millet flour. We will touch upon some options later in this video. What better recipe to dwell on than one of the most popular foods in India, the humble roti or chapati as it is called. And making rotis with millet flour is what many of you are struggling with, right? So, today we are going to be making millet roti using Kodo Millet Flour from S V Millets. But before that, some roti fun facts. Roti is a variant of flat breads, which are the oldest form of breads ever made for well over 6,000 years. The oldest oven making flatbread was discovered in Babylon and dates back to 4000 BC. Flatbreads have been common in many parts of the world, including the Middle East, China, Southeast Asia, Europe, and the Americas. That just about covers every continent, right? The famous tandoor originated in Persia, the present-day Iran, and found its way to India in 3000 BC. The archaeological remains of Mohenjo-daro and Harappa have remains of these small mud-plastered ovens. The word roti is derived from the Sanskrit word rotika, meaning bread. Although the roti flour is now synonymous with wheat flour, variants of the roti have been made traditionally from flour of barley to millets to corn to even rice. The English word for roti is unleavened bread. But this word cannot describe the many variants possible of a roti, like naan, paratha, kulcha, bhakri, tandoori roti. I'm sure there are many more. Do add roti variants that you know of in the comment section below. Every millet is available in flour form, but in India, millet rotis typically make use of ragi or finger millet, jawar or sorghum, and bajra or pearl millet. But I want to show you that you can make good rotis with any other millet flour. So today I have chosen Kodo Millet Flour from S V Millets to make my millet rotis. But first, let me share with you why you should use Kodo millet in any form more regularly in your diet. Check this out. Let's take a peek at the health benefits that Kodo millet has to offer us. Kodo millet is rich in protein and low in fat. It has a very high fiber content, and as with all millets, this also has a low glycemic index. Both these together help in control of diabetes and weight. The high fiber present in millets also play a major role in cholesterol regulation, eliminating LDL from the system and increasing the effects of HDL. Regular consumption of Kodo millet is particularly very beneficial for post-menopausal women suffering from such signs of heart disease as high blood pressure and high cholesterol levels. Kodo millet is very easy to digest and it contains a high amount of lecithin. Kodo millets are also rich in B vitamins, especially B3, B6 and B9, as well as the minerals such as calcium, iron, potassium, magnesium and zinc. Magnesium-rich foods help in reducing blood pressure and risk of heart strokes, especially when blood vessels are thickened. Presence of potassium helps in keeping blood pressure low by acting as a vasodilator and helps to reduce cardiovascular risk. Kodo millets contain no gluten and is therefore wonderful for people who are gluten intolerant. Now, here is a very important expectation setting that I need to do. Most of us are used to rotis made with wheat flour or refined wheat flour, popularly called as maida. Gluten is that ingredient in wheat flour which helps the roti become soft and fluffy. Now, is wheat a millet? No. Millets are completely gluten free. So, do not expect your millet flour roti to be a duplicate of wheat flour roti. But trust me, millet flour rotis are tasty, nutritious and gluten free too. Can it get better than this? Just try it and you will know what I mean. Come, join me to make a roti with Kodo millet flour. So, shall we begin? The ingredients required to make our Kodo millet roti. I have taken 4 cups of Kodo millet flour, about 4 teaspoons of cooking oil and salt to taste. This quantity is approximately enough to make about 10 to 12 rotis. So for 4 cups of Kodo millet flour, I am measuring 3 cups of water. And we may use less of it. It is always better to use less than more water and then add if required. So 2, 3. Switch on the gas and let the water boil. So now the water has started to boil. Let me switch off the gas and we'll pour this hot water into the Kodo millet flour. So I am taking 4 cups of Kodo millet flour to make our Kodo millet roti. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Adding salt. For 4 cups of Kodo millet flour, I am adding 4 teaspoons of cooking oil. 1, 2, 3, 4. So give this a mix. And now we will add the hot water. Although we've heated 3 cups of water for 4 cups of flour, we will add the water only gradually and use whatever is required. So very little you add initially. Give this a mix. Don't use your hands because it's hot. Very important point, add water gradually. Why I say this is, depending on the flour texture, the water requirement may differ. And later we will add some water during kneading if required. We will now rest the dough for 15 minutes. In my experience, this makes roti softer. But if you are short of time, just skip the resting. But in any case, you'll need to wait for a few minutes until the dough cools down. Now let me give you an interesting pro tip here. If by chance you end up adding extra water and the flour becomes gooey and you cannot make roti, what you can do is add more water and convert it into a dosa batter. And you can start making instant dosas instead of roti. Isn't that an awesome idea? As our dough is resting, a quick word about SNV Millets, who are doing amazing work in making available all millets in various forms across Canada and USA. SNV Millets is an importer and distributor of a very wide range of millet products, ranging from unpolished millet grains to millet flours, millet flakes, millet rava, and even ready-to-cook millet products. If you are based in Canada or the USA, you could order any of these products online from their website. Currently, you will also find SNV Millet products in 100 plus retail stores across the Ontario province in Canada. And for a limited period, you can even get a 10% discount on your purchases from their website. Just use the promo code Munch and Mull. So now it's more than 15 minutes that the dough has rested. So let me knead this. See? So I feel it's slightly wet. So I'm going to be adding a little more of the dry Kodo millet flour. You'll have to do a little bit of trial and error to get this right. As I said, the texture of the flour decides the amount of water. Okay, so knead it well. Yeah, now this is right for rotis. So now this dough is ready to make our millet chapati. So let's roll into lemon sized balls. Now here these are 14 rotis. It's extra because of the wetness. I added a little extra flour. So with this we are going to be making 14 rotis. Now you take this lemon sized ball, keep it here, add a little flour just before you make roti and again knead it. Then flatten it again, dab it like this in the Kodo Millet Flour, and then we will roll it out. Roll it very gently. See, now it's coming. The edges will not be very smooth like the wheat roti. Okay, you have to handle it very gently, otherwise it will break. Okay. The second one, again same procedure. Add a little flour and knead it. Knead it well. The more you knead it, the more smoother the edges would be. Roll it, dab it, gently roll it, gently, very gentle. Necessary, add some flour. So now let us cook the rolled rotis. This is a iron tawa. Let it get heated first. So the tawa is heated, I am lowering the flame and here goes our Kodo Millet Flour roti. Let me raise the flame. So lower the flame and let me turn it. Again raise the flame. Millet rotis are generally thicker than wheat rotis. Turn it. You can feel the coarseness or the texture of a millet roti compared to the texture of the wheat roti, and it's best to eat millet rotis hot. Now I'm going to lower the flame and I'm just going to dab a little bit of ghee or clarified butter. I like it with ghee. Vegans can use cooking oil. Here. See how wonderfully the roti has come. Just press it down so that it cooks evenly. So millet roti making requires a little trial and error to get it just right. And very important to adjust the quantity of water added. Keep changing the sides. For some millet flours you would even require just half a cup water for 1 cup of flour. Here this is well cooked now. And can you see these cracks? It's very common in millet flour, so don't expect it to have a smooth finish like a wheat roti. So here our Kodo Millet Roti is ready. So here's my delicious lunch for today. Kodo Millet Flour Roti, mixed vegetable and dal tadka. I'm hungry. When I look at my Kodo Millet Roti, I'm reminded of the thick bhakris made in Maharashtra out of jawar, bajra, nachni, etc. Let me taste this now. Here. Yummy. The vegetable is also yummy. It's different. As I said earlier, flour has been the most common form of millet use across generations. Let me share a few ideas. Check this out. The simplest and most common use of millet flour is as a porridge. A millet porridge is very simple to make. Discover how simple it is in this barnyard millet porridge video. Have you heard of the South Indian dish called a puttu, which is very popular in Kerala? This zero oil dish is usually made of rice flour and it is easy to simply replace it with millet flour. Check out this video of mine, you will love it. Dosa is usually made by grinding whole grain, but an instant dosa using millet flour is extremely easy. Just mix millet flour with water, add salt and get it to a consistency spread like a pancake. Enjoy your instant millet dosa. Do you enjoy string hoppers? Try millet flour string hoppers, what we call idiyappam in South India. Watch this video for details. How can we forget Lord Ganesha's personal favorite, the modak, that is offered to him on Ganesh Chaturthi? I used millet flour instead of rice flour to make the covering of modak. You can check out in this video. Would you like to try a gluten-free cake recipe? Try replacing refined wheat flour with millet flour, though the texture of the cake would be definitely different. Do have a reality check by watching this video first. Now, those are quite some ideas to get started with millet flour, right? Thanks to SNV Millets, if you are from Canada or US, you can start using millet flours and more immediately. You just have to go to their site and order it online. And remember, for a limited period, you can get 10% discount on your orders. Just use the promo code Munch and Mull. In these days of rapid climate change, I'm sure you will be willing to explore small eco-friendly changes that you can make in your daily life, right? At least for the sake of our children. Could millets be one win-win solution that benefits you and our planet Earth? Let's mull over it. Compared to rice or wheat, millets are beyond doubt a much more sustainable and eco-friendly food choice. Why do I say that? Let's look at some facts. Estimates are that to grow 1 ton of rice, you will need 28 lakh liters of water. Typically, millets would need 70% less water. Can you beat that? Further, as on date, millets are largely grown rain-fed without irrigation. That means less depletion of groundwater, which in turn also means less electricity used. Millets can grow in a variety of climates, including drought-prone and low-quality soil regions. This means they are climate-resilient crops. They are naturally resistant to pests and need virtually no agrochemical inputs. That means it is easier to grow them organic. Just look at the biodiversity of millets grown in India alone. Ragi, jawar, bajra, proso millet, kodo millet, foxtail millet, little millet, barnyard millet and even brown top millet. Within each, there are local varieties that vary. Just a simple example of jawar. Variants in color of sorghum grain can be from white to yellow to red to purple and even black. If you couple this with the amazing nutrient profile of millets and the benefits that millet cultivation offers to farmers, well, can we ask for more from one single class of crops? If all this has inspired you, how about spreading this inspiration? First and foremost, press that like button to make YouTube Baba happy and then share this video with your near and dear ones to make them healthy. If you want regular access to more of such content, you need to press that subscribe button and click on all notifications. And I will meet you in the final video of this collaborative series with SNV Millets. Do click on the subscribe button and press the bell icon to receive notifications of my newest videos uploaded every Saturday.